This is 7 News at 4:30.
First at 4:30, campus concerns at UMass Dartmouth after 2 students are allegedly sexually assaulted. Campus police here saying these assaults were reported in the same dorm building and just days apart.
And right now, police are still searching for those suspects. 7's Jonathan Hall live now on campus with the details.
Hey guys, good afternoon. Some of the students here at UMass Dartmouth are very concerned about this. Others just shrug their shoulders, but the campus is on alert. The incident's happening last week, and campus police have warned students of the danger.
I'm personally not too worried because I take a lot of precautions.
The reported attacks happened in the early morning hours of April 26th and 29th inside Pinedale Hall, a sophomore dorm here at UMass Dartmouth. Both incidents involved strangers unknown to the victims. Students are watching for trouble.
Since I live in that building, I have to take more precautions and stuff. So, like, I lock my door and stuff.
A young woman reported the latest incident on Tuesday. It happened 6 days prior to that at about 2 in the morning in a 4th-floor common area where students hang out. She gave campus police a general description of the man. The first incident happened inside a student's bedroom, with the suspect apparently gaining entry through an unlocked door. That student did not give police a description of her alleged attacker. It takes a lot of courage to report these things, don't you think?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
UMass Dartmouth says it has a victim's advocate ready to help the young women. And the school released this statement, quote, "We take these issues very seriously and are committed to the safety of our entire community." Campus police are checking to see if the 2 crimes could be linked.
I've seen the alerts. They're really good about letting us know, usually by email, but anything that happens pretty timely.
UMass Dartmouth says it strives to be transparent with these type of notifications, and they really have to, because the Clery Act is a federal law which requires educational institutions to inform the community of an ongoing threat, and this person has not been caught, so the threat is apparently ongoing. We're live in Dartmouth. Jonathan Hall, 7 News.
Also on 7, a student at Townsend High School facing a judge after police say he threatened to hurt people. Police arrested the student at North Middlesex Regional High School Thursday afternoon. The young man was charged with making threats of a weapon in the school and disruption of a school assembly. A warning for parents in Hopkinton after a man approaches a young girl. Police now say it could be connected to a string of recent incidents. Wednesday night, that girl was near the town's soccer fields when she says a man approached her, but she took off. Police say the man in his car matched the description of similar incidents in Mendon, Upton, Sutton, and Uxbridge in recent days. Sky 7 over Salem today as a garbage truck slams into a house there. Check out that damage. The trash collectors were out on the sidewalk when the brakes let go, causing that truck to just roll down a hill, hitting that house. There were people in the house when the truck hit, but thankfully no one was hurt. Starting today, campus police at the University of Rhode Island will begin carrying guns. It is the last public university in the country to arm its officers. The school has spent the past year preparing for the change. The move to arm police comes after a false report of a gunman on campus 2 years ago.
A whale warning is out for boaters in Cape Cod Bay. A boat struck an endangered right whale over the weekend. Here, take a look at this picture. According to officials at the Center for Coast Studies in Provincetown, pretty tough to see this here. You can see the gashes the whale suffered in those photos. It's all because of how they feed near the surface. It's tough to see them. Well, last week we saw some of the whales swimming in the waters off of Plymouth. This is from Sky 7 here. Researchers are urging boaters to be on the lookout, be extra careful. There have been up to 80 of the endangered whales in Cape Cod Bay as they feed this time of year. There's an estimated only 500 of these whales in the entire world. There's been numerous sightings over the past few weeks. Governor Charlie Baker appealing a decision by the federal government which limited disaster aid, that is, to just the first snowstorm we saw this past historic winter. Well, the governor initially asked federal officials to declare a 28-day period as a disaster. He's now asking that snow removal costs be extended from just 2 up to at least 3 days.
Caught on camera, a high-end heist. A suspect enters a store posing as a customer and then leaves as a criminal. The store owner says he asked to try on a few gold chains, but he apparently never planned on paying for them. 7's Alex DePrato has this story.
Clean cut, his hair parted. The owner of Elena's Fine Jewelry in downtown Miami didn't have any reason not to believe this man wasn't really interested in buying 2 gold necklaces.
Spoke well did his best to make us think that he was really interested in the sale.
When the man asked to see 2 Cuban link chains, the owner handed them over. The would-be customer put them on his neck, looked at himself in the mirror. He even took what appeared to be a couple selfies with his phone. Then he made a beeline for the door to an awaiting car.
Since we're located right at the entrance to the building, there was a car that had literally had the door open waiting for him to get in, and by the time we ran out, it was too late.
The store is out $35,000, and it comes after another recent hit. The owner says these 2 guys paid for 2 Cuban link chains with a credit card, then walked away. Once the charge was processed, the card turned out to be bogus.
Only to find out that we're faced with $35,000 chargebacks from the credit card companies. They won't work with us, talk to us.
The owner is offering a $5,000 reward for the arrest and conviction of any of the men. In the meantime, he's trying to figure out how to recoup these big losses.
I can't even begin to tell you to what extent. We're considering staying open 7 days a week if we could. We don't know what to do.
I'm Alex DePrato, 7 News.
More news today. The Secret Service installing a second layer of steel spikes to the top of the White House fence. Officials say the new anti-climb fence is to prevent fence jumpers. There have been several breaches over the last year. The Secret Service really taking a hit with these. New officer booths and a steel plate barrier at vehicle checkpoints are also going to be added.
The principal of a Florida charter school in trouble, allegedly caught in a car with a student and drugs. The principal, 43-year-old Krista Morton, was arrested after she was found in a car with a student, allegedly smoking pot. According to a police report, her shirt was unbuttoned and the car smelled of marijuana. Tonight, parents are asking questions about what kind of school their kids are going to.
It's very disappointing. You send your child to school every day and look at what happens.
The principal has been suspended from her job pending the outcome of an investigation by the school's operator.
4 Colorado middle school students are reportedly, they got sick after eating snacks laced with marijuana. Officials say a student brought alcohol and the marijuana snacks to Skinner Middle School there and then shared it with 4 other students. Out of caution, 1 student was taken to the hospital. The school says the student is expected to be okay.
I just told her, don't take anything from anybody. Your schoolmates, the teachers, the cafeteria, if they're handing out anything, because you don't know who's doing this and who's putting this stuff out.
You're seeing more cases like this in Colorado. Investigators say they're not looking into where the marijuana came from. Recreational marijuana is, of course, legal in Colorado, but not for minors. Only 1 student was cited for bringing the drugs to school. A wild rescue in Virginia when a man is found in the baggage compartment of a bus. Wow, police say a fire started in the compartment as the Greyhound drove down the highway. They say a man who somehow managed to get into the luggage compartment suffered life-threatening burns after this. He was taken to the hospital by helicopter. Investigators still don't know what sparked the flames, though. No one else was hurt on the bus.
A fisherman from Florida had the scare of a lifetime when he got up close and personal with a great white shark, and he recorded the entire thing on camera. The man says he was spearfishing off the coast of Port Canaveral when he came face to face with the giant shark.
I couldn't believe what I was watching.
Holy, holy.
My voice is cracking. I'm shaking. This thing was enormous. It had no fear.
That thing was a great white shark, the biggest predatory fish on the planet.
Wow, those guys are so brave. Uh-oh.
Joe Penovich, his daughter, and friend Zach were out spearing for lionfish when they came up on a much bigger one.
And he came up and he said, "Hand me the GoPro. There's a great white shark on the bottom." I kind of said, "Are you sure about this?" At the same time, my daughter was yelling and I was yelling.
I'm not getting in.
Zach got in feet from the 12-foot shark, at one point only armed with a spear, a sight none of these guys had ever seen, a sight that's also made them the talk of the town.
That is too close for comfort. I really wouldn't want to be in the water.
Some in terror, others in awe.
Honestly, it was like a scene out of Jaws.
Penovich says while great white shark sightings are rare, fishermen are seeing them much more often.
Yeah, you know, you hear these shark stories and everyone's afraid of the sharks, all because of the movie Jaws. A lot of it, they're dangerous, but you're on their turf when you're out there, right?
So
all right.
scary.
Still ahead on 7 News, I agree. A young mother in trouble with the law after she is caught attempting to sell her baby.
And new at 5, a young girl fighting for her life when an intruder forces his way into her home.
Sometimes it can just be a challenge to eat healthy, especially on the weekends.
Oh, better believe it. Tonight, we've got 5 tricks that will help you stick to your diet even when you're letting loose on a Saturday night.
Which we need to do. But tonight, join us for 7 News at 10 on CW 56.
Tonight, the handicapped spot, reserved for those who need it most. But wait till you see what some people are doing to get prime parking.
The reality is it's going on all the time.
And you won't believe some of the excuses we heard. No parking. Tonight at 11.
A mother in Cleveland behind bars today, accused of trying to sell her 10-month-old baby for cash. Yeah, that's right. She tried to sell her own kid there. Her family says they were shocked.
Yeah, it's a disturbing story here. The family actually worked with police to set up their own sting operation and to find out just how far this cruel crime could go. 7's Chris Anderson has the details.
25-year-old Liz Gayton has been charged with kidnapping and child endangerment after allegedly trying to sell off her 10-month-old daughter to a cousin this weekend, just steps from their grandmother's house.
And then Susie came back in and said, I don't believe that girl. She said she told me if I give her $400 or $500, then she'll let me have Annabelle.
With that, they hatched a plan to see if she could really be serious.
So she came back out and talking to her, and she told her, well, I'll drop her off at my house tomorrow, and I'll have the money for you.
The next day, the deal went down, and by then, police were involved.
They were there waiting on her when she came over.
According to the family, Liz has problems with drugs and debt to go with it, which is why she likely needed the money. What her family says she needs more is help, and they're hoping this lesson leads to that.
After raising her for 25 years and doing everything to help her, it just really hurt for her to turn against me like that and to be treating one of her kids like that. And right now, I really don't have anything to do with the mother.
Chris Anderson, 7 News.
Well, the cool down really took hold this afternoon, only 54 in Boston currently. So will it take hold for the rest of the weekend? The forecast is coming up.
Then ahead at 5, the Cleveland Cavs stirring up some controversy with a playoff pump-up video, why some fans are outraged.
And a terror warning from the FBI. Military bases in Massachusetts are now on alert. More on this.
And arrest on the red line, what landed this suspect in some hot water. In today's HealthCast, nearly 1 million miscarriages occur in the U.S. each year. A new poll reveals miscarriages are widely misunderstood.
Yeah, it's always good to talk to your doctor, and then studies like this even help people get more awareness. But more than half of the 1,000 Americans surveyed mistakenly believed miscarriages were uncommon. 20% suspected lifestyle choices during pregnancy caused the most miscarriages, but in reality, more than half of miscarriages are because of a genetic problem.
A study is showing people who regularly visit the emergency room are at an increased risk of hospitalization or death. Researchers found patients who seek emergency care anywhere from 4 to 20 times a year are more than twice as likely to be admitted to the hospital or die than those who go less often. Experts say this high-risk group may benefit from closer monitoring by a doctor.
New research suggests moving to a lower-income neighborhood may increase the risk of gaining weight. The study tracked 3,000 people living in Dallas, Texas, over 7 years. People who moved to a more depressed neighborhood, according to this survey, gained more weight than those who moved to similar or less depressed neighborhoods. Experts say public health initiatives should be targeted to communities in lower-income areas.
A new study suggests women take on a majority of the workload at home after giving birth, even in homes where they thought there was an equal distribution of labor. Researchers handed out time diaries to 182 couples, all of them new fathers and mothers. They showed women's workloads increased by 2 hours a day, while men's total working time increased by only about 40 minutes. Come on, guys.
We got to pick it up. I know, I know. Coming up in the buzz, Lindsay Lohan headed back to the U.S., where the embattled actress is hoping for a fresh start. Topping the buzz, Lindsay Lohan is Big Apple bound.
Yeah, the London-based actress is returning to the States to complete her community service. She was a bad girl and didn't do it all. Lohan is expected to complete 125 hours of service at a Brooklyn community center as part of a probation deal from a 2012 car accident. The judge warned she has 3 weeks or there will be consequences.
Seems like we've heard that before. Miley Cyrus says she's fine living the single life again. She recently split with boyfriend Patrick Schwarzenegger, and despite needing to learn how to be okay with being alone, she tells E! News her future doesn't rely on having a partner. She says it has a lot to do with being a feminist.
All good.
I got nothing.
She has
I got
animals.
Nothing on that.
She has animals, so.
She does. She loves her dogs.
Well, much more to come in the next 90 minutes. I'm Elizabeth Noreka.
And I'm Nick Emmons. 7 News at 5 starts right now.